Alright. Okay, so how important is it to walk your dog? Very important. It gives them exercise, gets their body right, it helps them to get their mind right, helps them to calm down. They like to be active, they like to do things, and they like to do things with us. Walking is one of the best things. The other important thing about walking with your dog is that you practice and you develop this leader-follower relationship. Teacher-student, parent-child, family, socialization type of stuff that dogs need. You develop it, you practice it. It's also a good opportunity to practice communicating with your dog. I don't mean just talking to your dog, they don't understand English, but leash tugs, guidance, praise when they're calm, and your corrections, whether it be a noise you make or or no or something. This is your time to practice those things. Just being together. I always say that from the walk is where you get all the basic principles of it, and then when you take your dogs out as your companion or as your service dog or emotional support, wherever you go, it's pretty much like an extended walk. I've got 3 basic rules, and they apply during the walk, and they apply in life. Number 1, don't pull the leash. Number 2, be in the right position, which is where usually beside or behind, but I choose that. I choose what position I want to allow them to be in. And then the last rule is distraction. Don't be distracted. Now, they can get away with that. It's kind of like the bottom of the totem pole type of rule, but if they're distracted to the point that they're breaking position, they're breaking rule number 2, or pulling my leash, then you have to address distraction. And that's where you practice your no command or your, snap out of it type of techniques. What else? I was thinking of something else.
Well, it's noticeable how calm he is now.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was thinking of. Many people say you should never let your dog go in front of you because that makes them believe that they're dominant or that they're alpha. And people that believe that they compare dogs and family with a wolf pack type of mentality. Some people don't believe that at all, and they say that dogs are not wolves. They're like a totally different, genetically, yeah, very similar, if not identical, but different type of animal. But they don't really have alpha, and dominance and submission is not something that people like to hear, or it's not real. It's not the way things are. So I don't pick either one. I think it's different ways to explain the same thing. And if the way you imagine it to be is working, then use it, be confident in it, and it's going to be better for you and your dog. As far as position, I think I definitely want to be in control of what position they're in. If they're in front, it's because I let them be in front. And then why I would like my dogs to be beside or behind me is because just common sense says it's easier for them to follow my directions if they're behind me and they can see where I'm going and see what I'm doing. If they're in front of me, well, I could use leash manipulation to kind of guide them around, so maybe that's why I don't mind them being in front of me too much, even though for the most part, yes, I do want them beside or behind. But it's very true that if they're in front of me, it's a little more difficult for them to pay attention to me. So throughout the walk, general rule of thumb for time on a walk is about an hour, give or take, depending on how athletic your dog is. But while they're walking, it's work. It's It's not smelling around time. It's not pee on everything time. It's I'm leading, you're following. You know, we're exercising right now, getting our wiggles out. But I do allow them to have breaks throughout the walk. You know, every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes or so. Allow them to do this because when I am walking, you know, on a strict type of walk, I'm demanding a lot from them as far as I want them to kind of deny their instincts to go out and smell and chase things and pull me to get what they want. I'm expecting them to exercise discipline, and that takes its toll on, you know, it's a mental exercise and a physical exercise. So breaks are helpful. After 20 minutes or so of your dog really trying hard to do the right thing, because they want to do the right thing, things start to kind of fall apart because they're just mentally exhausted. So little breaks help. This is your chance to smell and pee and relax. Also, it's a reward. So when you're training dogs or conditioning your dog, I don't use treats or toys very often because I'm not trying to get them to do anything crazy where they need to be really excited or really hungry. But I'm aware of the other rewards that exist, like petting, talking, giving them a break. I'm in control of when they get it. So it is a reward as well as just resting.